Hey guys, how's it going? We're back. The Amazon Genie's been. We've had a delivery, so we've got a few more items. In fact, I think we've now got everything I need to finish this little 8 GPU rig. So at the moment, we're short of cards, short of GPUs and cables, risers rather. So these are the risers here. They are the PCI 164P-N09. These are pretty good risers, I think. They don't have the Molex connector on them, so the card is a bit more streamlined. I'm not using that anyway. I'm using the 6-pin to power all these. They come with these SATA power adapters, but they're not recommended. You could probably get away with them for low powered cards like the 660 Super that I'm using, but better to be safe than sorry. And also I want to future proof this rig so I can switch over to Raven coin mining at a later date, or Ergo or anything like that. And of course Raven coin draws a bit more power, and don't want to have to rework the rig. I want it to be able to do what it needs to do just by changing the settings, not changing anything on the actual rig. So what else has arrived? Another pack of fans. So I can unbox that for you. You can see what comes with these. Your easy DIY fab fans. You get another hub, which I'm not going to need because one hub can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 fans. And you get your little remote control, which is the same as that one. So those are good little fans. The only thing I found, actually, now while I remember, was I did modify these slightly to get them to work the way I wanted them to. So they come with the screws to screw them to the chassis, but the holes are actually a bit too small for the screws that they come with. And of course you can't, the screws are not long enough to go all the way through, so it's almost as if they're designed to come in from the back, right? So you would have to put the fan on first before fitting any of the GPUs and put the screws in from the back, so the thread would come in this way. But that seemed didn't seem right to me, because if a fan dies and I want to replace it, I don't want it to pull all the GPUs off, right? So what I did was I just took a drill and I just drilled out the plastic slightly. It's easy to do obviously because it's only plastic, and then I put the screws in from this side just using a small computer Phillips driver that can fit in through here and into here, and screw them in that way. So that seemed to work pretty good. And they don't quite line up because obviously these ones are only screwed in from the top, but I'll just put some little cable ties in there or something, just because I'm a fussy guy. Serious OCD, you can probably tell. But yeah, so these are the 6 that I've got on there, still mining away. Been super stable, haven't had any issues with it, hasn't timed out. Stale shares are about 9%, which I think is pretty good for a 6 node worker. That should hopefully come down when we've got a few more nodes on there, because it'll be faster. I think that's how it works. And it's drawing, I don't know if you can see that in the light, but it's drawing 493 watts at the wall. So that's for the whole rig as it sits. So it'll be interesting to see when we get the other 2 on what the total power draw will be. So we've got our risers, we've got our fans, and then we've got our new 2 more of the Tough Gaming Overclock Edition GeForce GTX. Now I'm sure you've seen lots of videos of these on the net already because they are popular, but just in case you want to know a bit more about them, I'll unbox this one and I'll show you what you get in there. Now these are the ones, if I remember rightly, sorry about the crackling noise, that come in plastic. I know one of them did. It was either the Overclock Edition or the standard Supers that were wrapped in more plastic. Sorry, that's going to be very noisy. No, happy days. No plastic on these ones. Yay! So I don't have to worry about that. So they're ready to go. You just take this guy off, which protects the slot. And I've noticed on a lot of the other videos that I've watched, people always pop out the display port, the HDMI and the DVI caps. I'm not going to do that. I've left them on. I think they serve a purpose. If you don't have anything plugged into it, it protects the port. So I don't know why people always pop those out. Maybe if somebody knows that there's a reason for that, they can put down in the comments below. That would be good. But otherwise I'm going to leave them on. It's one less place for dust to go. And I guess there's a risk if one fell out, it could fall into the CPU fan or something like that, but they're fairly well stuck in there. They're not going to come out just on their own, I wouldn't have thought so. Anyway, so I think these are a great little GPU, dual fans, decent sized heatsink, and yeah, like a kind of like a carbon fiber effect backplate. It's just plastic, I'm sure, but yeah, no, really good little GPUs these, and looking forward to getting those installed, and then we will have an 8 GPU worker. So I'm going to get that done and come back to the video, but you can see I've got 2 slots there ready to go for these guys, and it's going to be interesting to see actually that A, the motherboard supports it, I'm pretty sure it does, and B, that the or 2 that the CPU does. So that CPU supports 16 PCIe lanes. These GPUs are 16 lane GPUs, but I'm not quite sure. I haven't been able to find out just by researching it myself if there's a limitation to the number of simultaneous GPUs that a CPU can support on the PCIe bus. So maybe one of you guys who's more experienced at this knows the answer to that question, and you are welcome to put a comment down below. That would be awesome. But otherwise I'm just gonna try it out. Hey, what's the worst that can happen? If it doesn't boot or whatever, then we'll know that we've got a bottleneck there. Awesome guys, so I'll get that done, I'll get those installed, and then we'll cut back to the video. Thanks for watching, talk soon. Okay, back. The magic of YouTube. We now have 8 GPUs, fans installed, everything is plugged into the PCIe slots, risers are in place, cables all done, bit of cable management needed around the back, bit of a spaghetti factory, but I've got all the 18AG AWG cables installed, no SATA cables, everything's hopefully up to speed. And what else have we done? Got the fans in place, got them plugged into the hub, and we will see if this works. Let's fire it up together. So still have the two PSUs, so the secondary goes on first. This will make a bit of noise because without the motherboard being on, there's nothing controlling the fan speed, of course. So secondary goes on first. All the fans are working, that's one good thing. Primary. And now the motherboard. Big difference once the motherboard comes up and the fan controller starts up. Okay, so let's see if we boot. Oh, moment of truth. Yes, we've got Windows. We have Windows. Okay, so let's let the hardware detection do its thing. Just quickly check device manager, see if all the GPUs have been found. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One of them is still just updating its drivers. Give that a second. Come on. So this is one of the advantages of having all the same cards. When you install new cards, hopefully you don't have to do anything with the drivers. It'll just use the ones that are already installed, provided they match everything else that's there. Don't know why that last one is having a little bit of an issue. It's interesting. Oh, now they all are. So I wonder if we're going to need to do a reboot. Let's do a reboot, eh? Can't hurt. I'll just give everything a chance to refresh. Pretty happy with how quiet this rig is. It's so quiet, you can hardly even hear it. Those ATX power supplies, the fans don't even come on until they reach temperature, and so far I haven't even noticed them come on. And these little 1660 Supers are really quiet as well. So if you were going to do a rig that's going to be in your living room, I'd recommend something like this, because you should be able to get spouse approval. Come on, Windows. You can do it. You can do it. We have an awkward silence. I've done absolutely nothing in the BIOS, by the way, guys, with this motherboard, in case you were wondering. Everything is default. At this point, I haven't had to go in and change PCIe speeds, or anything like that. But if we can't get this thing to boot, then we might have to look at that. Okay, here we go. Have you tried turning it off and back on again? Right, let's see. How we're looking. Yes, look at that, eh? The magic of the Windows reboot. Okay, let's see what happens if we fire up T-Rex. Same settings, nothing's been changed. Is that focused for you? I really like this T-Rex program. I mean, I haven't exactly tried any others, to be honest, but from the research I've done, this one seemed like the way to go. There's a 1% dev fee, as you can see there, but I've got no problem with that. The devs have got to get paid like everybody else. And I think for what you get, the capability to lock down the core clock, and for the resulting power savings that you get having those options, I'm sure it's available on some of the other mining software too, Hive OS or whatever, but this just seems super easy to use. Okay, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8 GPUs up and running. So GPU 0 and GPU 7 only reporting 23.8 mega hash. So let's see if that corrects itself as it goes through a few cycles. If it doesn't, we're going to have to try and figure out what's going on there. That could be due to those GPU rises, maybe. But sometimes it takes a few cycles to kind of for everything to bed in. And so temperatures, okay, it's only just got started, but there's nothing over 45 degrees yet. And the highest power draw that I can see, 72 watts on GPU number 2. .83 mega hash. But it's still picking up all its shares. So that hash rate will adjust. Yeah, interesting that those two GPUs, that the hash rate is so much lower. So we'll have to see if that corrects. Okay, so while that's doing that, let's see what watts we're drawing at the wall now. Wow, check it out, 642 watts. That is pretty awesome for 8 GPUs. They are pretty efficient. These 1660 Supers, pretty happy with that. Okay, so obviously that's going to need a bit of tweaking. We'll try and bring those other two GPUs up to their full hash rate. But guys, I hope that's been useful to someone out there who's thinking of putting one of these together. So those are the components again. The Corsair power supplies, highly recommend those for the money. They were $1.99 on sale, Kiwi dollars, but they're really good, really quiet, 80% efficient, gold rated. The GeForce GTX 1660 Super Overclock Edition, Asus Prime H570-Plus mainboard, easy DIY fab for the little fans. That's the Intel Core processor there. The risers were from nzrigs.co.nz if you're in New Zealand. Highly recommend those guys, they're awesome. These are the little M.2 USB adapters which I didn't end up using because I've got, and that's about all there is to say, I think. If you've got any questions though, there's bound to be stuff I've missed or stuff you're wondering, stuff that you've seen that I've done wrong, could do better, recommendations. Put a comment down below, but if it's been useful, give me a thumbs up, I'd really appreciate that. And stay tuned, because my next one is going to be a 12 GPU rig. So we're going to see how that goes. And I've been looking for a motherboard, can't find anything. Like literally all the mining motherboards are sold out. Ethereum obviously has gone through the roof in price, so everyone's firing up their miners or building miners. Good on you if you are doing that. But yeah, there's no motherboards available, so you're gonna have to be creative and see what we can do to get a 5-slot motherboard working for 12 GPUs. So if you're interested to see if I can achieve that, stay tuned and check out my next video and we can see. Maybe I'll just blow a motherboard to smithereens. Alright guys, take care, all the best to you and your families wherever you are, stay safe, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks.